Hello and welcome to another Mastery Path Connections interview. This is a series of inspirational women who are creating an income whilst travelling, and today I have Soleira Green with me. Soleira, welcome to the interview and thank you for giving up time today to be with me.
Thanks, that went through all night.
So the first question is, we've got women listening in who are different ages. So how old are you, and can you explain to us about your travelling lifestyle?
Okay, I'm 67, and we left our home of 11 years a year ago, my husband and I. In fact, a year ago on June 24th, if you can believe it. And we gave away everything we owned in a 4-bedroom house. We bought a new car and we drove to Spain. Yeah. And we lived in Spain for the last 9 months. And then, because it's too hot there and too expensive in summer, we drove back to the UK a month ago. And we're spending 4 months in the UK where we're staying with friends and doing some house sitting for the first time. And just many adventures. We're going to Glastonbury for a week, all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to Australia for 6 weeks. Then Cambodia for 10 days, then Bali for a month or two, and then back to the UK, and after that we have no idea where we're going. So that's the current status.
You've got quite a bit of a plan formulating.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. We haven't figured out the big long-term plan yet, but we're having a ball, so it's really fun.
Oh, that's great. So how do you fund this lifestyle?
Well, it's interesting because we were riddled with debt for some years. And I did love my lifestyle, by the way, but I ran the business from home. I'm a coach, trainer, webinar person. I do most of it online. But about a year ago, my mom passed away, and so I got a little bit of money. And so we paid off a lot of the debt. We bought a new car, and we headed off to Spain. So I fund it mostly, now that we're out of debt, I fund it mostly by doing online work while we're moving around. That's how I do it.
Oh, wonderful. So you when did you actually start your online business?
Oh, 20 years ago, approximately. So, yeah, I love it. I love working online. I'm a crazy person for connection with people all over the world, and I often say to people, if you're not thinking global about your business, that's crazy in this day and age. We're so connected, and I use Facebook almost exclusively to run my business on, and I love it. It's just a beautiful place for connection. So all I have to do is kind of stick a post in and say, oh, I'm doing a coaching special of this much, and I'll get 14 people say yes, or I stick a post on Facebook and say, oh, I'm doing a webinar on quantum consciousness, who wants to play, and I get 10 people sign up, So that's kind of how I do it.
So do you do free webinars and then people sign up to a coaching program, or do you charge for the webinars?
Kind of both, or anything. I'm kind of one of those people that doesn't really have any rules. I don't follow any rules. I do what I want to do when I want to do it, and I do it how I want to do it. I don't do marketing stuff. I don't try and sell stuff. I just like being myself, expressing myself in my own way, and the right people just tend to get attracted to that and drawn to it. So it's fairly easy in that regard for me.
Yeah, I think when you're in flow, it's like putting out the attraction signal, the antenna, and then people are drawn to your work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
So you said something there about like working with the quantum consciousness. Tell us a little bit about the type of work that you do then.
I do a whole bunch of things. I have worked on quantum transformation for some years now. I've written about 7 or 8 books and on genius, on transformation, on visionaryism, that kind of stuff. And I've also written some books on what I call future fantastica. They're fantasy novels about the possibility of the future. Quantum consciousness, for me, it's about consciousness creation. It's not so much as tapping the existing consciousness. It's about creating the consciousness, the life, the reality, the universe we want to have. So I teach people how to do that in their own unique ways. One of the things I'm really big on is saying, you don't have to do it my way. We're going to each do it uniquely. And so when I'm leading the webinars, what I'm trying to do is get each person to unleash their own unique genius, their own unique ways of being amazing, being awesome, and doing the biggest work that is theirs that they've come to do.
Yeah, that's wonderful, because it's like we're creating our own reality. What is it that you want to create for yourself? Oh, the dogs are barking.
That's okay. Create for myself. I think more than something about a personal lifestyle, I'm about making the world a better place. That's the most important number one thing for me. Everything I do is done from there, including this going on a jaunt and adventure around the world, because I've just finished writing an article about it from a newsletter, where I'm seeing so many people today becoming what I would call global citizens, stepping beyond national boundaries, stepping beyond the rules of how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to have a home, we're supposed to have debt, we're supposed to all that kind of stuff. And we're just stepping beyond it to, I think, create a new lifestyle for us all, which is, I'm a digital nomad, I'm a global citizen, I'm a visionary, I'm creating the world I want to see, and then working with people around the world to help them do whatever's theirs to do around that as well. So I run a network called the Visionary Network, and there are people who want to be up to big things and do great work in the world. So that's one of them. I also do a lot of work on unleashing people's genius, is the other thing I love doing, is getting people to really be all they can be and unleash their unique genius.
Oh, wonderful. And of course, you know, when you're working on yourself like that, you're automatically helping the world around you as well, aren't you?
Yeah. It's really fun. I love it.
So what sort of challenges have you experienced with a nomad lifestyle, and how have you overcome them?
Well, actually, probably one main one, which was our first stop, was Spain. And it was, I think, the first little while, first week or two, it was a culture shock for me. I didn't speak the language. I didn't know where to find foods. I didn't know how to get around. And I remember experiencing quite a culture shock. I don't think I'd experienced that again. I think that was because it was my first big move outside of a normal English-speaking country. Like, I've moved before. I'm originally Canadian. I lived in the US. I lived in the UK for 20 years. So that one, it just took me a little while. And now I'm kind of like, oh, easy. I've got Google Translate on my phone. It's just, I've found ways within a couple of weeks to just get beyond all that. And like I said, I don't think I'd find that again, because I'm now au fait with the traveling lifestyle a bit more. So that's
cool. And what about the flip side of that? You know, what about a highlight of the changing your lifestyle?
Oh, for me, I've never been as happy as I was the last 6 months in Spain. We rented a place right on the beach in a place called the Cala de Minas. Beautiful beach, and I could go out on the balcony and look at the sparkling Mediterranean anytime during the day I wanted. So I would get up in the morning and I would look out the window and it'd be just like, oh, God, just like you said, Deb, about looking at the sun on the mountain in Turkey where you are. It was like that for me. It was breathtaking moment after breathtaking moment after breathtaking moment. And now that I'm back in the UK for the summer, I find it slightly dull comparatively. The food's not as luscious. The views aren't quite as spectacular. So it's still a beautiful place and I love it, but I'm hungry for those breathtaking moments again. And that's part of why we're going to Cambodia and Bali in the fall, is because I want loads more of that,
Yeah, how beautiful. What have you learned about yourself in the process of living a nomadic lifestyle?
I don't know if I've actually seen anything more about myself personally, because I was already pretty fulfilled going into it. I don't know. I guess it's just that I've been happier. I think that's the only thing I could say. I've been really happy in a way I have never, ever been before. And I've been content, and I've been fulfilled, and I've been, you know, I don't know all of that, but not happy like I was in Spain. That was exceptional for me.
Yeah, no, I get exactly where you are there. There was a time when I was living in Peru. Like I was in South America for 11 months, and I've never experienced the levels of bliss on a daily basis than I have when I was there, and it was like breathtaking. And those feelings of gratitude about every moment, just appreciating being in these amazing places with the stunning scenery and living in the present moment of now.
Part of it I think is energetic as well. I'm drawn to go to energetic places. They don't have to be old, ancient, energetic places, but like that beach in Macala, I knew as soon as we rounded the corner, this is the place. There's awesome energy here. There's big work to do here, and I feel the same about going to Angkor Wat in Cambodia and to Bali. There's something about the energy, and Peru would be another one. Oh my gosh, I would love to go to Peru. So it is something about being engaged in a bigger level of ourselves and our work and making a bigger contribution. It's not just for me about wandering the world and seeing more places. It's got a more depth to it than that for me. It's part of a greater calling.
Yeah.
And most of the people I know right now, and I know a bunch of them at the moment, I was just ready. I know 4 people right now who've just taken this step. One has moved from Denmark to Crete. One has moved from Denmark to walking the El Camino in Spain. Another one is on Route 66 road trip across America right now with her husband, living in California. And a 4th one is moving to a conscious community in Oregon from Philadelphia. All happening right now this month. And that's just in my sphere of friends. It's not just that we're following a dream for ourselves. We're being called. And I think when you're being called to something, the grander forces line up behind you, make it something spectacular, like your trip to Peru that you mentioned. It's kind of like that for me. And I think as long as I keep following the flow and the energy, I'll go to the right places. I'll do the right, bigger things. I'll meet the right people. I've kind of learned how you stay in the flow of that in order to make traveling exciting and beautiful and wonderful and connective at the same time.
But let me ask you about, how do you decide where it is that you want to go? Do you have a strategy for doing
that? No. In fact, right now, yesterday, we just booked our hotel in Angkor Wat for November, and the first hotel in Bali for a month in November, December. But I cannot figure out what to do in December. So we're not flying back until January 15th. So I've got a month and maybe a month, a little bit over a month. We thought we'd stay in Bali for the second month, and we've tuned in. Should we go to Thailand? No. Should we go to Fiji? No. So today, in kind of, I won't say in desperation, but in creative endeavor, I messaged a travel agent I've been in touch with in Australia, and I said, what exciting things can you recommend to do over Christmas and New Year's in South Pacific this year? And I'm awaiting her email because probably what's happened is there's something I haven't thought of yet, or some place I'm meant to be, because I find, like, when we started searching the second month hotel in Bali, nothing's coming up right. That's a sign to me. This isn't the right thing. You're on the wrong path. So we sit down and we say, okay, should we stay in Bali the second month? Yes or no? We kind of get an intuitive feel about it. Is there someplace else we should go? You know, et cetera, et cetera. And at some point, it just falls into place. And this will too. I know it will. And I'm excited about how this will fall into place and where it will lead us. So I'll keep you posted.
Yeah. I find that quite often I don't need to know the whole plan. It's like the next steps are revealed once you're actually on the journey, on the path. And that I actually don't book a long way in advance. You know, I just book the next bit, and then the next bit appears. It's like a jigsaw puzzle just coming together.
Yes, exactly. It is like that for me too. It is a bit like that. Like, I have no clue what we're going to do when we get back in February. And I said to my husband the other day, well, you know, if we wanted to, we could stay in Australia for a bit longer. There's no reason we just need to change the plane flight. You know, so we have options we haven't considered yet. And I like that. I like that it's a journey, an adventure, as opposed to a specific plan and you stick to it, you know. So,
yeah. So what are your top tips for any ladies who are thinking about this type of lifestyle?
I would say first find out what dwells inside you as a calling. What's your biggest work, purpose, vision in life? And get a sense of that. I was going to say get clear on it, but heck, you know, it's an unfolding thing. So it's not like you have to know it in complete detail. But if you can feel that calling, then follow it. Because it's like it bursts up from inside you. It pulls you forward. It creates magic and synergy for you. If your come from place isn't your logical mind saying, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. Instead of it coming from a place deep inside you that's pulling you forward into something amazing. I think that's the best tip I could possibly give them, is to plan and move from that place.
If somebody's got fear coming up, you're frightened to take that first step, what advice would you give them?
Oh, heck. I would say fear is always the tip of excitement. And what the heck? Just throw it away and go for it. It's fun. Now, there probably is also a point where fear might also be a pointer to shift your plan somewhat. So you have to learn to measure what your inner urgings are telling you. And often I find most people with fear, it's actually this excitement is bursting up and they interpret it as fear. But other times it's more like a sense of, this isn't right. And when you get that sense of, this isn't right, reassess, change your plan, stop, tune into what's right for you, and then go from there, as opposed to just follow it because you've already got it in place.
Yeah, good advice, thank you. Soleira, if people want to connect with you, if they're interested in learning more about your work or your books, how can they contact you? Do you have a website?
Yep, my website is soleiragreen.com, so SOLEIRA green.com, and that's fine.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for setting time aside to talk to us today. And I'm sure that the ladies watching this, you know, can get lots of pearls of wisdom. So, namaste. Thank you.
Thanks for doing this, Deb. It's amazing.
My pleasure.
Alrighty. Lots of love.
Bye-bye.